Okay, test. Are you able to hear me? Let's see, is the sound working? The microphone? Yeah, I think it's working. All right. Okay, we still have like 8 minutes to go before we start. Hey, Marco, how are you doing? All right. Cool, awesome. Cool. Thank you so much for the feedback. It's my very first live stream. I never live streamed before, so this is a premiere. So thank you for the feedback. If there's anything going on, with the I don't know, camera quality, sound quality, let me know. I cannot promise that I can fix all the issues today, but maybe at least for the future. Um, yeah, if I need to improve, let's say, microphone quality, or maybe the setting is not good or the camera is too crappy, you can just let me know. How about the lighting? Right now, the sun is about to go down and I'm sitting against the sun. Is the lighting okay, or should I try to manage it somehow that it's not as bright behind me, or is it all right? Because I cannot really see the screen, to be completely honest with you. Okay, we have like 5 more minutes. I'm just waiting a little bit. And so the stream was scheduled at around 6:30. 5 more minutes waiting for people to come in. And then let's see. Sound is cutting a bit. Maybe can adjust input sensitivity. Yeah, that might be a good idea. I'll try to get the mic closer to me. How is it if I talk to the mic like this? Yeah, I'll just keep it here. If it's too loud, let me know. Maybe I can do something with the microphone sensitivity. Let's see, do I have any options here? I'm using the standard YouTube software. Usually you use some kind of streaming software like Streamlabs or anything. But yeah, let's try it like this. If you could give me feedback again, if it's still cutting or not, that would be awesome. So, yeah, I hope you're all doing fine. I hope everything is uh, okay. Where are you guys and people watching from? Are you watching somewhere from Europe, from Germany? Are you watching from the US or India? Yeah, would be interested to know where you guys from, where you're watching from. Uh, California. Awesome. Beautiful. Never been there. Would love to visit California one day. I heard you have, apart from your cities, I heard you have beautiful mountains there, beautiful landscape and nature. Um, really would love to be there one day. Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia. Man, I've been in the Balkan. I visited the whole region, like Bosnia Herzegovina and Montenegro and Slovenia. And the whole region, it was so beautiful. I really enjoyed it, especially hiking and mountaineering there. Man, I loved it. I was climbing Rudoka and yeah, all the mountains there. It was a little bit complicated and difficult to figure out which mountain belongs to which country and which one is the highest of each country, especially with Serbia and Kosovo. It was a little bit complicated to figure that out, but so beautiful. I really enjoyed to be there in the mountains because it was still so untouched and the nature is still like very original. There's not a lot of infrastructure, and I remember it was extremely beautiful. Yeah, definitely. I remember it was back then in I think 2015, Marco. I had a Volkswagen T4 and I was just cruising through Europe, climbing every highest mountain of Europe, of every nation. Or yeah. And yeah, it was just beautiful. And I really enjoyed the Balkan. Yeah, completely beautiful. And the people have been so nice. Dark Skies from South Africa. Awesome dude. Thanks for tuning in. Um, cool. All right. So yeah, it's almost 6:30. Um, People coming in slowly. Yeah, I don't know. Did you guys just see the live stream and you thought, click on it, or did you guys see some of my content on YouTube? Do you know what I'm doing? Have you seen some? I don't know. Have you seen my last expedition on Annapurna and Everest, or did you see some footage of my last expedition in Nepal when I climbed Lhotse? Yeah. So yeah, if you guys are wondering, I'm sitting here in Spain. For those of you that don't know, I'm from Germany. So I'm born in Germany. My mother is German, but my father is not German. That's why I don't look like a German at all. And yeah, I'm from Germany, but my mother emigrated to Spain. I think it's now about 16 years ago. So right around the time when I hit like 19 years, when I had to join the military, I had to do my service in Germany. My mom moved to Spain. She emigrated. She didn't want to be in Germany anymore, And yeah, I'm right now here in Spain, in southern Spain, in Andalusia, and I'm recovering from my last expedition. As you may know or may not know, I came. I came just 3 weeks ago. I came back from Everest. It's pretty. Yeah, on the date is 3 weeks ago. I landed here in Spain. I was in Nepal. I tried to attempt Everest, which I failed. Ultimately, I was not able to reach the summit. But yeah, for the past 3 weeks, I've been here in Spain. And as you can maybe imagine, I lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of muscle mass. I lost a lot of stamina and fitness because climbing Annapurna without oxygen and then also climbing Mount Everest without oxygen, or at least attempting to climb Mount Everest, is super intense to the body. Our main resource or our main energy resource that allows us to perform all the actions, just me talking or moving, moving my muscles, everything requires oxygen. And yeah, if you're missing so much energy input, your body degrades, and yeah, I got completely messed up by these two mountains, and now I'm back here trying to regenerate, trying to build up my muscles again, trying to get my fat back. It's also very important to have your fat reserves build up again. And yeah, I just was here training, sleeping, eating, and trying to recover. And I'm making slow progress. I started running again about 2 weeks ago, very, very slowly, slow pace. But yeah, I have to be extremely careful. I cannot go too fast. I have to be very conservative and yeah, slowly build up. And yesterday I had a quite good run. I'm running 10 kilometers usually, and yeah, I'm slowly getting back to my old form, but I definitely need another 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, until I'm back in my old shape. So yeah, at least 6 weeks of training are ahead of me before I can go all out again. All right. So it's 6:30 p.m. Uh, that's now the time when I scheduled the live stream. Thank you all guys for being here. I read your comments on every YouTube video. I saw your engagement. I saw your nice words. I saw your kind words. I saw all the motivating texts you guys sent to me. Thank you all so much for that. Really, it is so heartwarming for me. It's touching. It motivates me so much to share my journey with you, to keep on uploading, to pull out the camera while I'm in the mountains. And you can imagine I'm completely exhausted, and I'm mostly really not in the mood to pull out the camera when I'm just gasping for air. But really, it means the world to me. Your comments and your enthusiasm really keeps me going. And yeah, I'm so happy to share this journey with you. And thank you all so much, not just for all your kind words, for all your motivation, but also, as you saw in the title of this live stream, you guys brought this channel to 1,000 subscribers. It's already 1,400 subscribers. And thank you guys so much, really. I don't know if you can imagine how much it helps me. It's just the beginning of the journey. But actually, it helps me so much to keep on doing what I'm doing. Of course, I'm not gaining a lot of money from that, or I don't have any income from that, But ultimately, my expeditions are quite expensive. I'm not born rich. I have to work for every dollar or every euro. I have to just work as hard as you guys have to, and I have to earn and save money if I want to go on an expedition. In the future, I would love to be more flexible, more independent, but for that, obviously, you need to try to attract sponsors. This is just how the game works these days. And yeah, helping me to grow the YouTube channel, you guys subscribing, just brings me closer to that goal that one sponsor eventually says one day, hey, we like what this guy is doing. He's attracting some people. He has a cool attitude, and he's trying to show mountaineering in a not in a glamorous way, and he tries to teach what he learned from his success, but also from his mistakes. And yeah, hopefully one day one sponsor says, hey, we're going to support you, and go climb more 8,000ers in the future for us with our name or our brand on your chest, on your shoulder, on your helmet. That would be insane for me and would give me so much more flexibility in climbing 8,000ers in the preferred style I would like to climb in the future. I already told you, I don't really like this current Nepalese expedition style, how they climb mountains with the fixed rope, with the huge logistics and all the material, which is crazy, and it allows a lot of people and non-alpinists or non-mountaineers to reach these summits of these 8,000ers, which is a great thing if you think about it. And the Nepalese, they work really, really hard. Okay, I don't want to take away from them. They really deserve it. They earn it. They have all the right in the world to make a living out of these mountains, to feed their families, to develop an infrastructure in their country, and the Sherpas are really working hard for that. So they have all the right to do that, to do these expeditions, to organize that, and to bring people up on these mountains and to earn money from it. But it's not my style. I respect that they do it, and I also respect that other people climb like that. The mountains are there for everyone. These are not my mountains, or exclusive to alpinists. But yeah, we're all allowed to go in the mountains, and we are all free to choose our own style. If someone wants to be roped up, that is totally fine. If someone wants to go without oxygen, that is totally fine, as long as they don't risk the lives of someone else, of your own Sherpa, for example. Or if you're too slow or unexperienced, you cause a traffic jam. This is when it gets tricky. All right. So ultimately, I really want to say thank you all for supporting me so much. It really means the world to me. I love reading your comments. I love answering them. Sometimes I take a little bit of time to do that. But thank you so much. Really, this live stream right now is dedicated to you guys. Just a way for me to say thank you and to answer your questions, because I know you have a lot of questions. And yeah, feel free to ask whatever you want to know. There are no taboos. There's no answer I would not want to no question I would not want to answer. I try to be as honest, as open, and as authentic as I can be. So whatever you want to know, just ask. So I'm just gonna take a look into the chat real quick and see what you guys asked, so I can answer some of these questions. So I'll do that. I'll go ahead and look at some of your questions. And if I have the feeling you don't have any more questions for me, then I'll just go ahead with yeah, telling you about which mountain I'll climb next. And I also want to show let's see how long the question and answer game is going. But in the end, I also can show you, or yeah, how I do my mountain research. I can show you how I did it when I started mountaineering, when I was a very young mountaineer at the age of 23, and how I do it nowadays, what thoughts I consider, what tools I'm using, and yeah, where I get my info from, and what is the thought process behind it when I look at a mountain, when I look at a shape, and how to approach it. So, so what are we seeing here? It was fun seeing someone progress so hard. It's not called failing, it's quitting on Camp 4 without oxygen. It's an accomplishment in itself. Okay, that's not a question, but yeah, just to comment on that, because a lot of you guys wrote exact that statement, that I did not fail, that it is an accomplishment and a success to turn around on Everest and Camp 4. And you guys are definitely right about that. Staying alive is the biggest success in the end. Getting down from the mountain, reaching the summit is just 50%. It's just half time. You have to make sure that you at least have 60%, or ideally 65% of your resources left when you reach your summit. And that goes for every mountain. It doesn't just go for Mount Everest without oxygen. That goes for every mountain. And the statistics clearly show, I think it's about 70% of accidents happen on the way down, not just on Everest, on all mountains. The German Alpine Club did a survey on that, and really the majority of accidents happens on the way down. This is due to the fact that people don't really calculate their resources well enough. They sometimes just reach the summit with 20% or even 10% of their capacity left, and then you're completely exhausted on the way down. And what happens is, when you're physically exhausted, you also exhaust mentally, and your concentration is lower, and the risk of falling, stumbling, or maybe doing a mistake, not clipping into the rope properly, is way, 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 way higher on the way down when you're fatigued. So this is the reason why so many accidents happen on the way down, and you really have to consider that fact and really be conservative and think about, okay, reaching the summit is really just half time, and I still need enough resources to carry myself down, especially up there on 8,000 plus meters without oxygen. I can tell you, going down is just as hard as going up. It's really exhausting because your legs have to work so much, working against gravity. And really, also on the way down, for example, when I walk down the Lhotse phase, for example, I can do a maximum of 20 steps, and I have to sit down and rest because it's so exhausting. You can really, really feel how the oxygen is leaving your system, and your lungs need to work so hard to replenish all the oxygen. All right. So yeah, thank you guys. It's really it is a learning experience. I learned a lot from this Everest expedition that I had to turn around. I stated that in the last video. All my mistakes, all the things I did wrong, all the miscalculations or misconceptions I had. It is a expensive learning, but a very, very valuable lesson. And that is what it's all about in mountaineering. Go there, try yourself, try to test your limits, maybe even exceed your limits. This is also a part of mountaineering, but really understand when it's getting dangerous, when your life is in danger, and when you have to turn around. And then you just have to learn from your mistakes and reflect what happened, what could you have done differently, how was the weather, or maybe you didn't read the weather correctly. So yeah, it's a huge learning, and I'm thankful for the experience I had, really. So as you can see, I'm not mad at all, even though I spent a lot of money on Everest, but I'm not mad at all. This is the way of a mountaineer, and I love this style. So let's see what else you guys ask. Are you planning to attempt Everest again? Yeah, guys, definitely. I mean, for you can probably tell I'm very, very, very excited, almost addicted by these 8,000 mountaineering, and climbing these 8,000ers. And I can tell you guys, when I'm up there on this 8,000er, I suffer a lot. It's really, really, really hard, especially in the night or in the morning, when it's very, very cold and you have to force yourself to get out of the sleeping bag and start moving, and you're completely exhausted and fatigued, or when you're just gasping for air. I'm really sometimes fighting through snow, for example, especially on Annapurna, and I'm thinking to myself, Nordine, what are you doing here? This is so hard. This is so tough. Why are you climbing these 8,000 mountains? And I think every mountaineer had this question, and not just on a mountain, even on a hike. We ask ourselves, what are you doing here? This has like no purpose for humanity. It doesn't make the world better. It doesn't fight hunger or climate or whatever. Like you're just walking on a rock. And no one has any benefit from that. So what are you doing here with your time? And what is this nonsense all about? But I really, really love what I'm doing. It really touches my heart. I'm so excited and glad and happy that I'm allowed to climb these mountains. But I'm also asking myself, what are you doing here? It's so hard. But to be honest with you, I got quite addicted to 8,000 mountaineering, and eventually, if I'm capable to do it, I really would like to climb all 8,000ers eventually one day without oxygen. So that answers the question if I will try Everest again. And another one is asking, Grow Proteas is asking, K2 ever? Yes, of course. Everest is a big goal, but K2 is actually the big hidden goal, the pinnacle of mountaineering. If you can climb K2 without oxygen solo, or maybe in an alpine style, that would be a huge achievement. And so as you can imagine, I would like to climb all 8,000ers without oxygen one day, but I have to be patient, and go there bit by bit and see how it's going. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try Everest again. But I'm not going to go for Everest next year in 2025. First of all, I don't know if I will be able to accumulate the resources necessary. But also, I need a break from Everest. My last year, 2023, when I came down from Lhotse, so on the way down from Lhotse, or also the way up to Lhotse, I was always looking over to Everest, and I got infested, with the idea of climbing Mount Everest in 2024. So actually, Annapurna was basically, I know it sounds stupid, but Annapurna was basically my acclimatization mountain. I thought, okay, Annapurna is hard, it's difficult, it's dangerous, but it is a low 8,000er, which I can do early in the season, and then I could move to Everest and be perfectly acclimatized. That was actually my idea, my strategy, and this is why I decided to climb Annapurna, because of course I wanted to climb Annapurna itself, but also to have perfect acclimatization to go to Everest. But yeah, my strategy did not work out. But I successfully summited Annapurna, which is great. So yeah, that was the strategy. And but next year I don't want to climb Everest, because Everest dominated me the whole year 2023 and the beginning of 2024. I could think of nothing else than Mount Everest, about the way up, about my preparation, about the expedition and everything. Every day I woke up and I went for a run. I went into the mountains. I trained or did a training session. Everything I did in the last 365 days was dedicated to Everest, and it occupied my mind so much. And I actually want to free up my mind a little bit, so that's why I decided I'm gonna take a break from Everest for 1 year at least. So I'm gonna do something else in 2025, and ideally 2026 I'll be ready again. I have the resources, and then I can tackle Everest again. So yeah, that's the idea about Everest. K2 ever, I just answered. I'm sure large companies will soon reach out to you and sponsor all these incredible feats. Yeah, let's see about that. I would be super happy to carry some brands I really appreciate and I can recommend on my chest. I'm obviously not gonna put any brand on my chest or on my equipment, because I really have to agree with the values of the company and the brand, and especially be convinced that their products are good. For example, let's just imagine, I don't know, I'm not convinced of Scarpa shoes because I had problems with Scarpa shoes, for example. Yeah, then I would not recommend it. But for example, if La Sportiva reached out to me and said, "Hey, Nordine, would you like to have us as a sponsor?" I would say, yes, definitely yes. I've been wearing La Sportiva shoes for so long now, and especially on my last three 8,000ers, I had the La Sportiva Olympus Mons, and I'm climbing without oxygen, and frostbite is a real danger for non-oxygen climbers, and I never had any problems. My feet never even got cold, at all at some on summit day. So I can highly recommend La Sportiva, for example, and I would feel good to represent that brand, for example, and to recommend it to you or other climbers that seek advice in which brand they should use. Yeah, so that's kind of important for me. It takes a lot of mental strength to know when to stop. Dark Sky says, you're right about that, and a lot of you congratulated me and had positive words for me, that I knew when to stop, that I turned around, that I listened to my body, that I didn't get I don't know, baited or lured by my ego. But I have to tell or admit to you guys that this was not always the case. I'm a mountaineer now for 13 years, which is actually not that long. If you consider that I'm already 36 years old, 13 years of mountaineering is not so much. A lot of mountaineers that are way better and more experienced and skilled than I am, they started at a very young age. Their parents took them to the mountains at a young age when they were kids, or they started, I don't know, around 14, 15. And I did not. The first time I've been on a mountain, on a summit, was when I was 23, which is quite late for a mountaineer. Um, yeah, but my last 13 years have been very, very, very intense mountaineering, due to the fact that I didn't have any friends or family members in my circle that were excited about mountaineering as I was suddenly. Yeah, I didn't have friends to go to the mountains with, and I had to figure out a way how I can continue mountaineering without having friends that love to climb mountains. And this is how I actually came into the solo mountaineering, and why I started climbing solo and developed my skills so fast. So you can imagine, if you live close to the Alps, if you're crazy in love with the mountains, if you're fearless at a young age, and yeah, you want to go to the mountains and develop your skills climbing solo, you a lot of bad things happen to you. So yeah, this is what happened to me. So I just went into the mountains, and I gathered my experience. I started to climb solo mountains, and I always was looking for a task, for a challenge, for a climb that was just slightly out of reach. I didn't go to the Eiger North Face, the next week. No, I didn't do that, and I haven't done it so far. I will do that eventually one day, but I just progressed very, very slowly. I was looking for a challenge, for a task, for a mountain, for a route that is just slightly out of reach of my actual skill level. And I did that, and by that I had to overcome my fears. I had to overcome some borders, some limitations I had, just a little bit. And by that I was able to progress and get better and develop my skills. But I can tell you, I was very, very fearless. I was very, very relentless. And to be completely honest with you, I was very selfish, and I was very ego driven. So especially my family, my mother, my brothers, my sister, and also my girlfriends had to experience that in a very, very, very bad way. Sometimes it really just happened. Okay, Nordine just disappeared into the mountains for a week or the weekend, and no one knows where I am, what I'm doing, which route I'm climbing, and everyone knew he's going crazy. I didn't care if it was at night. I didn't care about the weather. I didn't care if it was 1,800 meters vertical without a rope, free, solo, all by myself. I did not care at all. I was really, really on an ego trip. I was super relentless and completely fearless. And climbing like that in my mid and 20s was really, really dangerous. I put a lot of risk on myself, and there were like two instances where I really almost died. For example, I think one of the biggest learning lessons I had on Mont Blanc, the first time I climbed Mont Blanc, I went there in spring, and I can tell you, going to the Alps in spring is intense. Okay, you really need to know what you're doing, and the Alps in spring can be devastating hard. So I went to climb Mont Blanc solo, the 3M route, which is the more technical and challenging one. I went there and climbed that one solo without anyone. And actually, I made it to the summit in one day. I went up there directly. I even ditched my plan to acclimatize before. Really, I did everything wrong like a rookie, and I made it to the summit. And I cannot even remember how I did it. I lost a lot of the memory, but I ended up in a storm, in a whiteout on top of Mont Blanc. And luckily, I had my bivouac sack with me and my sleeping bag, and I had to dig into the snow. I found a little like snow hole next to a rock where I could dig in myself and sleep there. And I was lucky that the storm was over. The next day, I woke up, and I didn't even know if I would wake up. And I could have easily died there. And a lot of climbers on Mont Blanc died that way. Just Google Mont Blanc, and you will see how many people died on Mont Blanc. So what I want to tell you with the story is I was very, very relentless, and I didn't have my ego under control like I do now. And to be honest with you, after this experience, I was still neglecting with my girlfriend and my family that I did something wrong, that it's my life, I can do whatever I want. It's me who's dying and risking his own life, and no one else has to care about it. That was my attitude back then as a younger mountaineer. And eventually I had to learn that that behavior was very, very selfish. I got controlled by my ego. I had like summit fever or Gipfelrausch, as we would say in German. And that was a very, very unhealthy path I'm on. And if I continue to climb like that, in that relentless style, if I'm not giving any shit, about the weather and what people say, um, I would eventually kill myself. And it, especially, I think, um, it got clear to me when Uli Steck died, for example, when he was training for his crazy traverse, that even a guy that is skilled like Uli Steck can die in the mountains. And guys, I'm telling you, Uli Steck is infinite times better than I am. You cannot even mention the two of us in one sentence. He was so skilled, so talented. Same like David Lama or, for example, Georgi Kukushka. But the fact is, these guys are not alive. They died in the mountains. And that was probably due to their success, due to being relentless, maybe a big ego. I have to be careful with these statements, but eventually I had to realize or figure out everyone can die in the mountains if they're not careful and if they just push their luck, their limits too hard. So what I want to say with that, to close this point, I didn't always have my ego under control. I really had to learn the hard way. I almost had to die uh, for that lesson. And this is the only reason why I was able to mature as a mountaineer, and why I was able to turn around on Mount Everest at that day and say, no, Nordine, this is not the right day. You're not feeling strong, and you're going to get yourself killed if you go. A younger Nordine would have probably progressed, and now I would be another frozen dead body like that Kenyan climber Kirui, who's still up there. He's 40 meters below the summit, frozen forever, which is a tragedy. His Sherpa is lost. No one found him. So yeah, I had to learn the hard way in the Alps. Okay. Let's see. K2 ever takes a lot of mental strength. Since I have similar goals, I'm curious about prices without oxygen. If I understood you are right, you're climbing alone, so it's just climbing permit, or prices are just as crazy. No, actually, it's a huge difference if you're climbing without oxygen. So the most expensive part about an expedition is really the Sherpa and the oxygen. These are the most expensive parts. Everything else, Nepal is still a developing country. Transportation, labor, food, and other services are very, very cheap. The costs that really push Everest or other mountains are the transportation of the oxygen and the Sherpa. So I'll just be completely honest with you about all prices and numbers. This year was the last year where the permit for Everest cost $11,000. A permit for the other 8,000ers in the spring season is $1,800. If you go, for example, in autumn or summer, Lotsie or is, for example, just half of it, $900, I think. And if you go in winter, Lottie is even just $450. And same for Annapurna, same for Manaslu, Dhaulagiri, you name them. And the same with Everest. Everest in winter is just 5.5, I don't know, I think 2,500. And in the off seasons, like autumn, um, $5,000. But this was the last year Everest cost $11,000. They want to increase the prices to $15,000 next season because they think this is the way how to limit the traffic jams and the crazy I don't know, amount of people trying to Everest, which is complete bullshit. Just $4,000 more will not limit the numbers of people trying to climb Everest. If someone is able to afford Everest, he will even, or she will even go there if it costs $5,000 more. You know, the people won't get more skills. They won't be better. You won't have more quality people climbing the mountain. No, you will maybe even have more rich kids, you know, that are bored and want to climb Everest without oxygen. So raising the permit fee to $15,000 doesn't change anything. No, it just limits normal climbers and mountaineers like me, for example, even more to get to this mountain. But yeah, this is another topic I can go into detail. So you don't just have the permit fee. You also have a rope fee. You have a garbage fee. You have a garbage deposit, and you have the liaison officer that needs to be paid. Um, so usually most, like, let's talk 2024 and before. Usually Everest for a bottled oxygen climber with a Sherpa from a Nepalese company would pay around $30,000 to $35,000. This is really the cheapest you can climb Everest with oxygen and Sherpa. And if you have a Western company, like let's say Medicine Mountaineering or Mountain Madness or Furtenbach, or if you go with NIMS, for example, you pay at least $50,000 and more. So yeah, I would say the cheapest with oxygen with Sherpa is around about $33,000. In my case, I can tell you I got Everest very, very cheap. I only had to pay the fees, the permits, the transportation of my equipment to base camp, and the food in base camp. So I was able to get Everest for around about $18,000. So if you calculate the permit and the other fees I told you, $18,000 is not a lot. And if you would adjust it now to the 2025 prices with $4,000 more, it would be around $22,000. So there you see how much you can save on Everest if you go solo without oxygen. Yeah, but this is not a recommendation. If you plan on climbing Everest without oxygen, please do your preparation. I'm talking in my video so much about it. Please don't just go there. Climb other 8,000ers before. Try them without oxygen. Try other high mountains. Go to Denali. Go to Kilimanjaro. Go to Aconcagua or Peak Lenin. Try 7,000ers. Get your body used to the high altitude and learn a lot of stuff and gather experience, learn how to use crampons, ice axe, and so on. Don't be the guy or the girl or the person who's showing up at Everest, doesn't know any skills, doesn't know how to put a harness on, doesn't know how to put on crampons. I saw that a lot. Please don't be that one. You're risking your own life, and you're risking the life of others and your Sherpa. Please don't do that. So yeah, this is the prices for Everest. So I paid around about $18,000, and for Annapurna, I got a very good price at around $6,000. Yeah, which is very, very cheap, and you can only get these cheap prices if you climb without Sherpa and without oxygen. Let's see. So, hi, Massachusetts. Greetings to you, man. Where is Nordin doing this live from? I'm in Spain, in southern Spain, Andalusia. Maybe you know the city called Malaga, and I'm about 50 kilometers away from Malaga if you go up the Costa del Sol. Yeah, this is where I'm live streaming that. But I'm not Spanish, I'm German. So I have no doubt you will accomplish everything, K2. Please just keep the videos coming. Yeah, I will. So the plan is actually I'm going back to Germany soon. I have to earn money again, so I'll go back to Germany soon. uh, do a ordinary job and earn money. I have to do that if I want to go on an expedition again next year. So I will go to Germany soon, and I will go to the Alps again and climb some mountains you may love and enjoy. I've been on Mont Blanc many times. I climbed the Matterhorn before, and actually I really almost climbed every European highest peak of Europe. So yeah, stay tuned. In August and September, I will be in the Alps a lot, and I will share all the footage. I will share with you how I climbed the Matterhorn, how I climbed the Mont Blanc. You can even, if you want, you can even decide which route I'm taking. Maybe I'm making a poll for that. And yeah, maybe if you have some other ideas, maybe you want to see the Monte Rosa round. There's so many nice, beautiful mountains in the Alps, and I will keep recording them and share them with you until it is time for expeditions again. How about Seven Summits, South America and Antarctica? So far, I already climbed two of the seven summits. Let me think. Yeah, I climbed Mount Elbrus and Mont Blanc, but actually Mount Elbrus is the highest mountain of Europe, and I climbed Kilimanjaro of Africa. And yeah, if I was able to climb Everest this year, I would have three of the seven summits already. Yeah, definitely. I want to climb the seven summits. Denali is definitely on the list, Aconcagua as well. Yeah, and it's a little bit more tricky with the Karstens Pyramid, Puncak Jaya in Indonesia. It's very complicated there right now. You all actually you need a permit from the military. You have to go there by helicopter. It's very complex to go to Carson's Pyramid right now. And for Antarctica, I have a special plan actually. I really would love to climb Mount Vinson in Antarctica, but actually I would like to start from the coast with a how do you say, is it a sledge? Yeah, and walk to Mount Vinson, climb Mount Vinson in Antarctica, descend, and from there continue to the South Pole. This would be an expedition I would like to do in the future, but it's super expensive. It costs at least 100K, if not more. So yeah, it's super expensive, and yeah, it's hard to make that money just from saving while working a regular job. And I'll definitely have to find a project and convince them, hey, look, a sponsor, hey, look, I have a project on my mind, which is quite cool. Would you support me? I wanna climb the highest mountain of Antarctica and reach the South Pole in one goal. But yeah, this is a lot of planning, a very complex project, and it's not easy because you don't have a lot of organizers that can do that actually. So what else do we have? Are you more into the 8,000ers? Actually, I love being in the mountains in general. You know, I was lucky at the age of 23 that I discovered the mountains by accident. Okay, I wasn't looking for this. I literally just stumbled across the mountains, and for some reason, it touched my heart, and I was blessed with the insight that mountains make me happy, that they touch my heart, and that I enjoy being in the mountains. It just made me smile so much, and you can sometimes see that in the mountains. It lets my heart beat faster. Um, I'm amazed and thankful that I found the mountains as something truly, truly, truly love. Some people spend their whole life searching for something they truly love, what they want to do, what really fulfills them. And they try so many things. They play an instrument, they try, I don't know, golfing, diving, writing, art, whatever it is, and they sometimes are never able to find their true passion. And I was just lucky, really. It was just coincidence and luck that I stumbled across the mountains, and that I was able to detect that they make me happy. And here I am now. And so, in general, to answer your question, I really love the mountains, all kind of mountains, and even just the German mountains that are very, very low. They are not even 3,000 meters high. Our highest mountain is 2,900 and a few meters. But even being in these mountains makes me so happy, and I enjoy it so much, and it makes life feel so good. And also the higher mountains in the Alps, like 4,000ers and 5,000ers. And to be completely honest with you, 8,000ers are something very, very special, and it's a completely different sport. I know we also call it mountaineering, but it's so completely different. 8,000 mountaineering is there's no joy there anymore. There's no you cannot enjoy 8,000 mountaineering. Whoever tells you that, at least without oxygen, um, 8,000 mountaineering is all about suffering, endurance, hanging on, fighting the cold, fighting your inner ghosts, again, suffering. This is what 8,000er mountaineering is like. And it is somehow irrational to go to these mountains and climb them because it's so hard and the suffering is so intense. And sometimes I don't even know myself why I'm going there because it's really, really hard. But for some reason, you know, just with turning around on the summit of Everest or at the South Col, the things you learn, the insights you get, and the chances you have to grow as a person and to learn from that and to readapt and to look at your own mistakes and to reflect. This is just a huge gift. You learn so much. It shapes your personality so much. Being able to suffer through this for 3 months, and you also have to train like a madman. I was training like a beast last year to be able to climb these mountains. And with that, you learn a lot of discipline. You learn how to, I don't know, get up in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning and go for a run or go to, I don't know, whatever. And you have to be interested in it. You have to learn. You have to adapt. You have to readjust. And this all comes with 8,000 mountaineering. And then it's just, you are able to reach places on Earth not a lot of people are able to reach or have the privilege to go. Um, for example, Annapurna, as of now, I think 420 people in the history of humanity ever stood on the summit of Annapurna, and about 200 of them did it without oxygen, which is crazy if you think about it, how rare people actually reach this place on Earth. And it's a special feeling to do that. It also grows your confidence and shows you or gives you feedback that if you work hard enough, if you are disciplined, and if you have a desire that comes within your heart, you are able to accomplish and reach outstanding things. And this is so beautiful about the 8,000 mountaineering. But I'm completely honest with you, it's a lot of suffering. There are a lot of moments when you're not enjoying what you're doing, when you're questioning yourself, when you just want to go home and turn around. I've seen so many people bail, and I don't judge them at all. You think about your family, your wife, your children. You suddenly realize how much you miss them. You didn't have a warm shower for a while. You just want to sit on the couch, watch Netflix, which is awesome. You just enjoy having a warm, comfortable bed, or just go to the fridge when you wake up, and do your favorite shake or have something you eat you enjoy. These are so small things we don't appreciate enough in life. But suddenly when you're on an expedition, you realize that all these things are missing, these small little details of life that make life so great in the 21st century. And then it's really, really hard to not think about that, especially your loved ones. When you're thinking about your family, you really feel like, man, I wish I could be together with my family. I had that thought many times, and I was lucky that I was able to connect with my family with my Garmin InReach, for example. So yeah, it's hard. So yes, I'm more into 8,000ers now. But to be honest with you, the last 2 years and also 2 years and this year's, I'm still an 8,000er rookie. Okay, with this expedition, I would say I finally learned enough that I'm able to climb 8,000ers in the future by myself, that I'm able to organize them by myself, and that I can start trying to organize my own expedition and try to climb alternative routes in an alpine style, but not alone. That would be way too risky, even though I would like to, but it would not be fair and too selfish if I did that. But the last 2 years, Lhotse, Annapurna, and now this Everest attempt, were really there for me to learn 8,000 mountaineering, to learn about the expedition style, how it's organized, how my body reacts to altitude, and how to approach and climb these big mountains. So this is what I did the last 2 years, and now I feel ready to say, okay, I think I'm ready to try my next 8,000er myself. Yeah. What the hell? How are you, 38, 36-year old? You look way younger, man. Thanks for the flowers. But actually, you cannot see it. I already have a lot of gray hair. But thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Um, Climbing without oxygen seems like it increases the risk of dying. Is it worth the extra risk versus using O2? Well, that's a completely good question. But the answer is not as easy as you would think. And of course, I cannot claim the truth for my answer. I can only give you a subjective answer, or my answer, what it is for me. For me, I would never want to climb a mountain with oxygen. Um, people go to Mount Everest because they want to climb the highest mountain in the world, but when you use oxygen, what actually effectively happens is you reduce the height of the summit by effectively 2,500 meters, and with maximum airflow, probably 3,000 meters. So what is the point of reaching the highest mountain in the world when you actually lower its height by using oxygen? This is a question I don't understand. Well, I think I know the answer. People do it so they can say, I have been standing on Mount Everest, or I did it for my ego, or for a nice summit picture, or I have a good story, at the next dinner. I don't want to judge everyone using oxygen, by the way. But for me, I don't climb the mountain because I want to reach the summit. I think that's a big difference to someone who's using oxygen. As you maybe were able to hear in the last minutes how I talked about mountaineering, it's not about the summit itself. It's about how you get to summit and actually how you experience the mountain. The suffering for me is important. It's a vital and integral part of the mountaineering itself. I can only truly feel the experience and yeah, witness the mountain if I go there, if I don't change anything, and if I experience the mountain how it truly, truly is. And that is with low oxygen, suffering to go up there. Of course, it's way safer, but you can also talk about that. But the numbers show that the risk is safer if you climb with oxygen. I think the problem, though, why so many non-oxygen climbers die on Everest is because they don't have their ego in place. They are not conservative enough. They don't take enough time to acclimatize, and they just want to push too hard. I think that's the main reason why so many people die on Everest. So it increases the risk of dying, that's for sure, especially if you're like relentless, and you push your limit too much. But just look in my case, I did my preparation, I did my homework, I'm there, I'm very, very conservative, and I read the signs and I turn around. For me, for example, my acclimatization allows me to go to Camp 4 without having any issues. An oxygen climber, if he would, for some reason, run out of oxygen, or his mask or his oxygen cylinder is not working anymore, and he is for several hours up there in Camp 4 in the South Pole without oxygen, he's running a very high risk to actually die. So, and I don't have that risk. It's like you get thrown into an ocean and you're not able to swim. This is the oxygen climber, and you need actually like a tool to make you afloat. And for me, it's just like I can swim. I don't need the oxygen. I'm able to keep my head above the water. I don't know if that comparison makes sense for you, but this is why I think ultimately, if you follow the rules and if you follow the conservative approach, climbing with oxygen should not be more dangerous, but actually give you an advantage over a non-oxygen climber. But what I have to say is you're way slower, so your summit day is longer, which actually makes it more difficult and actually increases your risk, because you can never keep up with someone that is using oxygen. Even if I was Kilian Jornet, or the strongest runner or mountaineer in the world, someone who's just physically fit at all, will always overtake me and be faster if he's using oxygen and I'm without oxygen. That's just a fact. And Yeah, also the risk of getting frostbite, is way higher. Your blood is thicker, your heart rate is lower, so that means the blood circulation is slower. The temperature transport is diminished, and therefore it's way easier for a non-oxygen climber to get frostbite. So yeah, all these factors indicate, or definitely no, they're actually a fact that climbing with oxygen is less risky, and climbing with oxygen is actually a higher risk, and the numbers show that as well. But I think you can minimize the risk if you follow some simple rules, and especially acclimatize very, very well. But again, it's very subjective. Ultimately, it comes down to the question, why are you going to the mountain? Why are you going, and why do you want to climb this summit? Why do you want to reach the summit? What is your motivation? And I think every mountaineer should ask him or herself the question, actually, what is the reason? Why am I here? And I think a lot of people come to Everest and they don't really have an answer for that. And yeah, I would recommend more people ask yourself the question, why do you want to be on this mountain? I have to ask the same question to myself. I have to ask myself, Nordin, is it really about the experience and about developing as a mountaineer? Or do you maybe really want the praise, and do you want to boost your ego in being there? I also have to ask myself the question constantly and make sure I have the right motives. It should not be for praise and applause and my ego. No, it should be about the development and the journey as a mountaineer. Yes. So yeah, we should really ask ourselves, why are we climbing this mountain, or why are we climbing our mountain, or doing what we are doing? What else? Oh, damn, so many questions. I've been watching the ascent videos from the past few weeks, and they are truly inspiring. Thank you, Phoenix. I am happy to hear that. K2 is a harder climb than Everest, for sure. Definitely. Definitely, you're right about that. Amada Blanc way more technical than Everest, so you got Everest for the future. Yeah, that's for sure. Like, I just put these questions together. K2 and Amada Blanc are for sure technically harder. Also, Annapurna is way more risky and technically harder than Everest. But as a as an oxygen climber, that doesn't matter at all. You don't really care too much about it. But as a non-oxygen climber, Everest gets really, really hard because it's so incredibly high, and the winds there are so strong. So that makes Everest really, really hard for a non-oxygen climber. Same with K2, by the way. K2 is a beast, and yeah, I can't wait to see this mountain in person one day. G2GC, thank you for the $2. You met Ryan Mitchell, 18-year-old YouTuber from MA. Yeah, I think I saw him. But to be completely honest with you, everyone is like covered in their balaclava. We have their huge goggles on, and then the oxygen climbers even have that huge mask in their face. So it's hard to actually see people and recognize them. But I'm not sure. I meet so many people there, and I talk to many people. I'm a very open personality. I talk to a lot of people, and I don't remember if I actually met him in the base camp and if we had a conversation or not, because I talked to so many people. So I don't really remember. So I thought I talked to him, but man, I could be completely mistaken. I wouldn't go straight to Everest anyways. Attempting such thing without O2 is insane. Just curious about difference in prices. Thanks for transparency. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, I just said that, not especially or specific for you, but I really see a lot of people, they come to Everest and they want to climb it first, and in China or from the Chinese or Tibetan side, that would not even possible. You wouldn't even be allowed, or you wouldn't even get a permit if you hadn't climbed an 8,000 before. These are the rules and regulations on the other side, and I think they should do something like that as well for Everest, that you're not allowed to climb, or you're not able to get a permit for Mount Everest if you haven't at least climbed another 8,000 before, like, let's say, Manaslu, or I don't know, Dolagiri or another 8,000er. I think this is really, really, really important and could actually lower the death count on Everest. Thanks to Mont Blanc for a humbling lesson that heals you from summit fever. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna make a video one day about the Mont Blanc lesson. One day in detail and tell you the whole story. I'm glad you did the live Nordine. Greetings from USA. When you go back home to Germany, make some videos, give us some tours. Yeah, definitely do some tours of the Alps, do some tours from Germany, how my daily training session looks actually in Germany, how my food is, how my nutritioning is. When I'm back in Germany in my old routine and structures, I can show you more of that. Definitely will do that. Congrats on your physical ability to show us the magnificent country and its stunning landscape. Fellow Canadian here, ever been too beautiful? Uh, big namaste. Um, Thank you, Anna. Yeah, for me, it's important to not just show you the summit or the mountain itself. I really would like to show you how Nepal is, how the people are there, the culture. In the future, I would like to show you a little bit more of that. I have to just use the camera more. I was not happy with the amount of footage I produced. I really need to remember and motivate myself to pull out the camera more and more and more, and yeah, record the footage so I'm able to share it with you, because it's really really nice to see the Nepal culture, how the Nepalese live there, how they manage their everyday life, and also the Sherpas. And I can just highly recommend to anyone who's able to do it. If you have the chance to go to Nepal, visit Nepal, and to trek there, do it. Really, it's, you will never forget it, and I guarantee you will never, you won't do it just once in your life, but you have to go a second time. What's your regular job? How do you take so much time off? Hey Tommy, thanks for the question. I was working in sales. Wait, let me change the camera a little bit so you don't have the sun in your face. So I was working in sales. I studied management, and as you can imagine, if you're quite good at sales, a lot of sales is, we have a fixed salary and then a provision, depending on how good you are on sales. And I was working in sales, and I was able to save quite some money. As you saw by my traveling style, maybe I don't need a lot of money, I don't need a lot of luxury, and I don't need a lot of materialism. So I'm usually traveling and living on a very very minimalistic way or style, and that way you're obviously then also able to save some money if you're already earned some good money. So yeah, I was working in sales, and yeah, I would say I wasn't too bad at it, and that way I was able to yeah, save quite some money. But yeah, as you can imagine, oh yeah, maybe to explain that, so I quit my job 2 years ago, because you're also asking how I take so much time off. I mean, in general, here in Germany or in Europe, we have more times days off. You probably know that, compared to like the US. I think by law we have 21 days minimum, and with the let's say human resource problematic or crisis right now, a lot of companies even offer you 28 or 30 days minimum, because they just want to convince you to work for them. So you have a lot of free time anyways, but that would not be enough to go on an expedition. So yeah, I quit my job 2 years ago. I quit my flat. I left my girlfriend. I cut all ties, you could basically say. And I was traveling the last 2 years around the world, climbing mountains, visiting countries, and used up all my financial resources. Yeah, now I'm broke, and now I have to go back to Germany, earn money again before I can start climbing again. um, Ryan Mitchell made his climbing money for Everest with his YouTube earnings. Yeah, I know. I heard about that. I think he had a Minecraft channel or a gaming channel. Sorry, that's our dog. He's just going crazy. Um, Sorry about that. Yeah, he was able to earn money with YouTube, which is awesome. To be able to do that at such a young age is very phenomenal. And yeah, kudos to him. Awesome what he's doing. And I think also the way he filmed everything and his commentary was very very insightful for a lot of people, and also very authentic. And I think he did a great job with his daily records. So yeah. I can just clap to what he did. Hi, Nor. Thanks for sharing your adventure. So proud of you. Shout out from George Washington. Hey, thank you so much, Marky. Thank you. No, Mary. Sorry, Mary. Thank you so much. Eurocam, do you have parents, brothers, sister? You look some lone wolf in this life. Actually, you would be surprised. Actually, I have two brothers, a bigger brother and a younger brother, and a bigger sister. So we are four. I've always grown up with a lot of people around me. But yeah, actually, I'm a guy. I like to socialize. I have some, let's say, extrovert phases in my life, but sometimes also very introvert phases where I really need my time off from everyone. Just want to be alone in the mountains, or I don't know. Uh, watching Netflix, I really enjoy being alone, which sounds weird. That doesn't mean that I dislike being together with other people. No, I really enjoy being together with other people, sharing experience and time with my family, with friends, with loved ones, or people I don't even know. I connect so much when I'm traveling, and but really, I also love being alone. I enjoy the time being alone so much. This is also the reason why I climb mountains solo. The thing about traveling alone or climbing mountains alone is we always have noise around us. We get a bit distracted by our phones, by movies, by multimedia, by other people, by thoughts. And I think most of us, we don't even realize how disconnected we are from ourselves. Most people really don't know who they are. They know their name, they know where they're born and what they do and what they like and which taste of, I don't know, ice cream they like the most, but they have no clue who they are. They don't know who their inner being is. They don't know what their heart desires, and they don't know what makes them happy and what their soul is like. A lot of people don't know that because they don't have an inner dialogue with themselves. They don't meditate on themselves. They don't talk to themselves or spend time alone. I don't know where it is, hiking in the mountains, whatever you want to do. I don't even care. But I think a lot of people would benefit from spending more time offline, not entertainment, not distracted by other people or tasks and responsibilities. Actually, I know it's not so easy for some people, especially if you have responsibilities for children, but it's so important, and you cannot imagine how valuable it is to have a connection with yourself, to figure out who you are and to understand your inner desires. Because most of us, what we just do is we are acting like society wants us to be, or maybe we want to make our parents proud or someone else in our friend circle. We want to impress other people, or we want to make someone proud, or we want to be loved. This is the main reason and the main motivation people go around and do stuff, or maybe want to climb Mount Everest with oxygen. We want that appreciation from other people. But what a lot of people don't do is that they talk to themselves, and understand what does make me happy. What does Nordine need? Who is Nordine actually? What makes him happy? What is his life dream? And we often just live our lives, and not actually doing what we really, really love. And this is why I think we should spend more time alone sometimes and actually connect with ourselves. But I love being together with other people, but I also love being alone. Do you have parents? Hi, I'm from India. Is Mera Peak a good start for beginners? Mera Peak. I haven't climbed Mera Peak, but I heard it's quite okay for getting into higher altitude, and maybe as a first step to get closer to 7,000 and 8,000 climbing. But for beginners, I would say no. I would say start lower. In India, you have so much more opportunities. You have 4,000ers, 5,000ers, 6,000ers. Do that first. Like, I don't know what you mean by beginner. Maybe you're already doing it for 5 years. But if you've never been to a mountain, if you never had used crampons or an ice axe or a harness, or if you don't even know how to use your hands and feet to climb or to balance, no, please don't go there. Start slow, man. Don't be impatient. Start slow. Go on a hiking trip. Go on some 4,000 and 5,000ers before you go to Mera Peak. Yeah, I would recommend that. Do you think it's possible to summit an 8K mountain without oxygen as a smoker? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like, I have to say, 8,000 a mountain is not 8,000 a mountain. There are a total number of 14 8,000ers. Five of them are the high ones, the big five: Everest, K2, Kanchenjunga, Lhotse, and Makalu. Those five are around about 4,550 and 8,000, 8,450, 8,500 meters high. This is really, really high. And all the other 8,000ers, the nine remaining ones, are around 8,091 ish, 93, 8,116, and so on. These are low 8,000ers. It's not so hard to climb these without oxygen. It is hard, but not as insanely hard as the big five. Okay, so there's really, you cannot compare the big five to the other nine ones. It's a complete different game. The amount of preparation you need, the training, and how hard it is completely different on the big five compared to the lower nine. So just to add that little detail, so you really need a different strategy if you climb Manaslu or if you climb Lhotse. And actually, I saw that happen in person. I told you that one of our expedition members, Gabriel from Romania, he died in his tent in Camp 3. He wanted to climb solo, Lhotse without oxygen. I had a long conversation with him. I begged him not to do it. I begged him to use his oxygen. And I don't really know the reason why he died, but he fell asleep in Camp 3 and he never woke up again. But I really tried to. And well, Gabriel told me, Nordine, I climbed Manaslu already without oxygen and I felt fine. It was no problem. And when I asked him for a strategy for Lhotse, he said, I'm just gonna go there and see how it goes. And I said, Gabriel, please don't do that. That is not a strategy. You need a proper strategy and preparation for Lhotse. Please use your oxygen. That's what I said to him. And yeah, he's not here anymore. And what I say with that is you need special preparation for the high ones. So about the smoker, yeah, definitely. No, I know for a fact that you can do it without oxygen. Being a smoker, like almost all the Sherpas, they climb. Well, maybe the Sherpas, they're different. They have really a genetic modification to deal with the oxygen. But no, I'm pretty sure you can do it as a smoker as well. But you need to just be very, very conservative and careful with your preparation and acclimatization. But don't smoke, dude. It's so outdated. It's so 20th century, and there are no benefits at all. But yeah, I know it's not that easy for a smoker to quit. Sorry for that. Swim without floaties, brilliant. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Take a bottle up for backup is smart, just in case. Actually, I did that last year when I climbed Lhotse, but not. I did take the bottle to the summit. I had it in Camp 4. You can see that on my Lhotse video. In case last year when I climbed Lhotse, but this year I didn't do that. I was very, very confident, and I was sure enough that I know how my body feels, that I know how my body reacts, and that I will be able to read the signs and I'll just descend when I don't feel good. Did you happen to be there at the same time as? Yes, I was there at the same time. I think he summited one day before me. Or he summited one day before I tried and had to turn around. They tried on same day. Oh, did we on the same day? Okay, awesome. I asked him in super chat. Let's see. Unfortunately, I have to leave. Thanks for cool feedback. Bye bye, Marco. What do you suggest for a beginner to do the hike? Oh, can you not hear me anymore? Let's see. You guys hear me? Funktioniert. Dank dir. That was just my mom telling me my microphone is not working. Sorry. I hope I wasn't cut off for too long. So yeah, maybe if you can give me a quick little feedback if the mic is working or not. Um, what do you suggest for a beginner to do the hike to base camp? Wow, that's a very general question. So that means, Anna, you never hiked? Um, Actually, the hike to base camp is quite fine. Even I think it might be a bold statement. For me, it's very hard to judge other skills, and physical shape and condition. But I actually think, even as a beginner, hiking to base camp is totally fine, because you start very slowly at 2,700, and you can even start further down. If you decide to go by jeep and not by plane, which I did last year. So you can slowly start. You can spend some time in Lukla, get used to the altitude, then slowly walk. It's so nice because when you go to base camp, the first day when you go down to Pakting, you actually you don't go up to Namche Bazaar directly to 3,500, but no, you actually go down to Pakting to like 2,500 meters, which is easy for your body. You can be very conservative, just plan enough time. You can spend one extra day in Lukla, which I did, then spend another time in Namche, do an acclimatization walk. What I want to say is, I think Everest Base Camp trek is quite chill because it just slowly progresses, and the terrain itself is quite easy to handle. It's never risky. There's never the risk of falling down into an abyss or something. So I think for a beginner, it's quite good to start with Everest Base Camp, but be aware, once you get to the 4,000er range and higher, it will be hard, especially if you went too fast, if you didn't drink enough, if you didn't have good sleep, and if you have a heavy rucksack or you're physically just not in shape, then you will have a hard time, but it's manageable. Everyone has to suffer to go to Everest Base Camp. You won't be the only one. Almost everyone who goes there has to suffer, and the physically more strong you are, the easier your time will be. But I can just recommend to everyone, start slowly, go easy, have some rest days, have some acclimatization walks in between, and really enjoy it. People rush to Everest Base Camp. I know, again, in America you have less time. For example, you have less holidays or vacation. I totally get that, but it's such a beautiful experience. I can just highly recommend. Take your time, spend an extra day in Lukla, talk to the people, go to some other tea houses, and connect with the Sherpas. Same in Namche Bazaar, for example. There's like an art museum on top of Namche Bazaar that shows an artist who used all the trash from Everest, and he made art from it. So this is just a perfect day. You can spend another day in Namche Bazaar and not just rush to the next village. So this is how I would recommend it. And if you want a real recommendation, but for that, you should be a little bit more experienced. If you really want to explore the beauty of the Solo Khumbu and the region around Everest, do the Three Passes trek. You can also see it on my channel. It's so beautiful. Like the Everest Valley compared to the other valleys are kind of not so nice, but the valley to the left and to the right are super beautiful. I can highly recommend the Three Passes. God bless you even more than you're blessed. Now enjoy some paella for me. Thank you so much, BB. I'll do. Thank you so much. Sadly, I'm 54 and still don't know myself. Well, John, this is exactly what I was referring to. For some of us, it's not so easy, and especially for your generation, it was not that easy. You grew up in a different time. My generation had it way easier. We had so much more options. We had so much more wealth and opportunities, and less responsibilities and limitations and restrictions. So it's easy for me to say that now because my generation had really more options, and my mother always gave me a lot of freedom to develop and explore myself. So that helped a lot as well. She didn't expect me to do or become anyone she would like or want to see. No, she just said, "Hey, look." Go out there yourself and figure out what you want to do. I'm not gonna babysit you. And for your generation, it was definitely different, a different time. The opportunities and options you had were different. And also, I'm 36. I'm not married. I don't have children. So it's so much easier for me to say that. Take some time for yourself and figure out who you are. But I think if you have responsibilities, if you have a mortgage to pay, if you have to care for children or a partner, or I don't know, maybe you have a family member you have to take care of, it's so much harder. You're constantly with your thoughts thoughts outside, external, not with yourself, and then it's so much harder. I don't know how your life looks like at 54. Maybe your children already grown up, your mortgage is paid, and now you should have time to reflect on who you are. Then maybe the time is now. Introverts are thought to be shy. Not so introverts require a long time to recharge. Extroverts require people to recharge. Yeah, to be completely honest with you, I don't really know what I am. I just know that I really enjoy being together with people. But I also know when I spend too much time with other people, like outside, I really need to draw back a little bit and actually I think recharge. I really need that, and especially if I'm very present in the outside, and if I'm giving a lot of energy away, I also get back a lot of energy from the people. But I really sometimes have the feeling, man, I really need some time for myself. And yeah, fortunately, my body has a very very clear voice, or my mind has a very clear voice, and I get the signal and I listen to it and I respect it. Learning from positive people like you help. Thank you, John. Thank you so much. I feel like we could sit and chat for hours. You are very genuine and well spoken. Thank you, Anna. Actually, I see it's already 19:45. I cannot extend the live stream for too long. I think I'm gonna do at least another 10 minutes. Let's see. Thanks for the advice. Not I have done some hikes in 2000 meter, but I'll take your advice and look. Thank you so much, Indie Gamer. Really, I don't want to judge. I just want to encourage everyone. Don't just jump or aim at the big goal. No, actually understand climbing mountains or mountaineering is not about just reaching big heights as soon as possible. No, it's a journey, and actually it's beautiful to be on this journey. If I look back at my journey, when I started as a rookie, and how I was able to progress, yeah, I'm really glad and grateful for that. And the journey was beautiful. You're good. It works. Thank you, Robert. Legend mom. Yeah, mom is awesome. uh, um, Mike skipped the beat, but works fine. Okay. Thank you, G2GC. Hi, Nordine. How are you? Arnold, I'm fine. I'm doing better every day. Last year after Lotse, I was extremely exhausted. I was very, very weak, very fatigued. You have to imagine I was able to stay awake for about 3 or 4 hours after the expedition, and then I fell asleep. I had to eat so much. I only had 63 kilos of body mass left, and I'm 173, which is not big, but still 63 kilos for someone who is 173 is not a lot. I lost so much muscle. I lost so much fat because I didn't know what I was doing. It was my very first 8,000er. And yeah, last year was intense. It took me almost 3 months to recover from Lotse. The next video will probably or most likely be about Lotse and how and why I was able to succeed climbing Lotse as my first 8,000er, and what it actually did to my body and my mind, because it was quite intense. And really, the recovery time from Lotse was very, very long. And when I shared the story with you, really, I had like my body and my mind were separated because the suffering was so hard. And I want to explain and tell you or share with you guys in detail what actually happened, because I tortured my body, and my body did not forgive me in the beginning, and I really had to make peace between them. But I'll explain that in detail in the next video. So yeah, now I'm feeling fine, but I'm still weak. I'm still tired. My muscles are just not as strong as they used to be, but I'm getting stronger every day. Thanks to mom, actually. She's making sure that I have everything I need right now, that I can relax, that I can chill, that I don't have to worry about anything. I can just spend my time here. And yeah, thank you so much. Um, I think the Annapurna circuit is also a good hike. Yeah, actually, Annapurna is nice, But to be completely honest with you, I was a little bit disappointed by Annapurna. They build a lot of roads and infrastructure there, which is good for the locals. They want to have a good life as well. But as a hiker, it was a little bit underwhelming, to be completely honest with you. Like, Everest Base Camp is so much more beautiful, and especially, as I said, the valleys around it. Annapurna is nice, and it's so beautiful to look at Annapurna, but the path and the hike itself, even though they already made an alternative route, which is like off the road, but still, I think it's not as beautiful anymore as it probably was 20 or 30 years ago. So yeah, I think I was quite a little bit disappointed with the Annapurna hike, if I have to be completely honest with you. John, I'm sadly 58 tomorrow. Then have a nice celebration tomorrow. Andrew Aziz just climbed Denali and completed the 7 summits. He paid for all the trips as a day trader in stocks. Maybe something you could do. His trip to South Pole was 150K. You should contact him. Andrew Aziz. Okay, I'm gonna write that down, and I'm gonna check that guy out and maybe can learn something from him. About the day trading, yeah, I think that's possible, but you don't just start as a day trader and make a lot of money. You actually need to educate yourself. You need to learn how it's going. I think also day trading, same with climbing mountains. You don't just do it and climb on the highest mountain on the world. No, you actually have to learn how it works. So I think it's not as easy as it seems to be. What's your thought on Cho Oyu next? Arnold, actually, funny that you asked the question. That was actually my idea. Maybe you guys heard about it. Man, I really wanted to talk about this in this live stream, but I won't be able to do that. Maybe I will have to do it in another live stream or another video. Actually, that was my idea. I really wanted to climb Cho Oyu next, but not from the Chinese side, but from the Nepalese side. Maybe you read in the news or you heard the news. Climbing Cho Oyu from the Nepalese side is very, very hard. It has been done before. For example, Denis Urubko did it, I think, 9 years ago in 2014. He climbed the south face, which is super, super hard, okay? Only like pro alpinists and athletes like Denis Urubko can do that. And this year they managed, actually, they tried the last 2 years. Actually, like since Corona, the Nepalese tried to find a route to climb Cho Oyu from the Nepalese side because it was not able, or they were not able to get permit from the Tibetan side. But this year they finally succeeded, and they found a way to climb Cho Oyu from the Nepalese side, which is kind of doable. It still requires a lot of skill and scrambling and some mountaineering, so it's not for every climber, like going to I don't know, Manaslu, for example. But now it might be possible to do some commercial climbs. But yeah, actually, um, maybe you saw in some other videos or in my Lhotse and Three Passes videos that I was in the Cho Oyu base camp on the Nepalese side, and I was going there with the idea or the intention to scan the route, because I really was thinking about already since last year to climb Cho Oyu from the Nepalese side. So yeah, I was excited to hear that they managed to find a route and a way this year. I already analyzed the route they took, so maybe I can do that in another live stream. You guys can tell me if I should analyze the route in another live stream, or if I should produce a video and upload it. But I'll definitely analyze the Cho Oyu route and talk about it and see how I would have done it, because I was thinking maybe a similar route. So yeah, Cho Oyu would definitely be an idea, and also yeah, let's just touch the topic real quick. Yeah, I was thinking when I started this year, when I was at Annapurna, I saw Manaslu and Dhaulagiri, and I thought, man, actually that would be nice, climbing Manaslu and Dhaulagiri together in 1 year, and that would not be as hard and exhausting as Everest. So that was an idea, but I feel like I need to also maybe not just take a break from Everest, but maybe also take a break from Nepal. So I was thinking Pakistan would be nice. I talked to someone in Lukla who said, man, go to Pakistan is a very nice experience and a different way of mountain climbing. And the Karakoram is very, very rough terrain and still more alpinistic. So I was really thinking about, yeah, maybe I should go to Pakistan next and try to climb some 8,000ers there. The nice thing about Pakistan is Gashabrum 1, Gashabrum 2, and wait, what else is there? Hold on, I'll show you my screen real quick, guys. Um, I'll show you this one. Yep. These are the 8,000ers. Yeah, so this here is Pakistan. These are all 8,000ers of Pakistan. You can see further to the left is Nanga Parbat. It's a little bit further away. But the other ones, they are all connected via the Baltoro Glacier. And they are all in walking distance. So you can see there's Gashabrum 1, Gashabrum 2, Broad Peak, and K2. So I was thinking, and these are low 8,000ers, okay? And I was really thinking, man, that would be awesome to maybe chain some of these together. You know, you're already here, you set up base camp somewhere here, or you climb one of these, go around, climb another one, go around, climb another one. That would be awesome. And if you feel like super, super strong and have resources left, you could even try to tackle K2. You would have perfect acclimatization if you climbed 1, 2, or 3 of these and then do that. But of course, you know, I'm already like over optimistic because climbing 3 or 4 or even 2 8,000ers in a row is a very hard thing. But yeah, I was really thinking about maybe this should be my next project. Go to Pakistan, go to the Karakorum, and try to climb some of these here. But as I said, not with a big organized expedition. I think I have to click on this one. Yeah. So yeah, as I said before, not in an expedition style anymore. You know, a big Nepalese or Pakistani expedition where they use Sherpas and ropes and everything, like fixed ropes. No, I really would like to organize my own expedition to go alpine style. I need to convince a climbing buddy to go do, or in a 3 guys together and then climb without fixed ropes in an alpine style. This is really the true form of mountaineering, how I would envision it, and that would be awesome. So yeah, this either I will go to Pakistan next year and try a few 8,000ers, maybe 2 or 3 in a row. That would be awesome. Or maybe try Nepal and try Cho Oyu. So yeah, these are the options right now. And I have to do some more research. I also wanted to do that in this live stream, but we're running out of time. I won't be able to do that. So the mountain planning, the mountain research, the mountain preparation. You know what I usually do. You already see I have this list here open, and as you just saw, I already had like the satellite image open, you know, and then usually on Google Earth, I zoom in, I look at the different sites, I look at the satellites, I read into the history, how the mountain has been climbed, which routes are there, and so on. And then I take a closer look at the routes, I look at pictures and read the stories about it, and then I make up my mind how I climb it. But I want to show that live to you, how I actually do it, and you know my thought process behind it, and what I'm thinking, what I think is doable, what's not doable, what are the risks and obstacles, and yeah, really just want to share my thought process with you while I research these mountains. So yeah, definitely have to do another live stream for that, I guess. So yeah, I hope you guys are okay with that, that I cannot extend this live stream for too long, but that I will do that in another live stream and do that. So, okay, Arnold is saying live stream. So yeah, okay, we do the Cho Oyu analysis also in a live stream, I guess. All right, thank you. Is it true that climbing Everest from north side is more difficult? Yeah, Leon, Karina, yeah, it's more technical. There's without going too much into detail, but there's less snow on the other side because like the mountain range or the Himalayas itself act like a weather or rain barrier. All the snow is coming down on the Nepalese side, and there's almost not a lot of snow and rain falling down on the Tibetan plateau. So there's not a lot of snow, and it's very, very rocky, and therefore it's more technical. Everest would also be more technical if it had less snow, and yeah. So it's more technical to climb from the north side, from the Chinese side. But also, the base camp there is way more relaxed. It's chill. It's more quiet. You don't have so many helicopters. You don't have, I don't know, a zoo of people freaking out over there. You can run to the advanced base camp, which is at 6,500 something meters in your sneakers. So the beginning is very, very chill. The base camp is very, very chill. By the way, I haven't been there myself. I just talked to a guide who happened to guide a lot of times from the north side. He told me that, and I'm just reporting what he said. So the beginning is chill, but summit day is more technical. Yes, Ian. Okay. Hello from Montana, USA. Hey, mountain girl stuff. Welcome back. Or hey, from southern Spain, Andalusia. Broad Peak, Nanga Parbat. Yeah, exactly. Arnold. More technical, more time in death zone, hard permits, unreliable Chinese access, but less crowds. Noting, would you try north? Yeah, actually, I would really love to climb from the north side, but no oxygen climbing and solo climbing is banned from the north side. So this is unfortunately not an option. I mean, if I would get like a special permit from the Chinese government to climb on the north side solo without oxygen, I would highly prefer to climb on the north side next time, but it's very unlikely that I get that special permit because the Chinese government just doesn't care. So, but yeah, I would really love to do it. And everything you say is right, by the way. So yeah, G2 GC, what he or she, I don't even know, wrote is completely correct. How do you find your trips? Fund. Yeah, I said that earlier. I was saving some money because I was working in sales. And that way I was able to save a lot of money. Also because I don't have a very materialistic lifestyle. I don't need a lot to be happy. So that also helps. And yeah, being single and not having children, not having any mortgage or credit debt to pay off really, really helps to save money and then be able to afford that. Ryan Mitchell, he climbed Everest. Yeah, I heard about him. So awesome guy. I think it's great what he did. And I think what's most impressive is actually the transition he did. I think he talked to Alan Arnett and then prepared within a year. So he was really talking to the right people, to the professionals. He went with medicine mountaineering as far as I understand it. So yeah, he really did it the right way. And I think what he did is impressive, and also showing it in this vlog style, I think is very, very insightful and awesome for a lot of people. I have a question out of curiosity. Thank you. Oh, wait, hold on. Crispy Galactic, man, thank you so much for your comments, and I read all your comments, and I also answer all your guys' comments. Thank you so much. Really enjoy being together with you, and thank you guys for all the questions and your enthusiasm. I have a question out of curiosity. When you go to Everest, can you go wherever you want and do what you want? For example, instead of going to the summit from Camp 4, can you go for a walk and explore? Well, you can do that for sure. No one is, yeah, I don't know, telling you anything you have to do. If you want to just go there and walk around, sure, you can do that. The thing is, it's just very expensive, and you have to be careful. It can be dangerous because only the main route is like roped, and you can get lost if you leave the rope, if you move away from the rope too far, and if you happen to get into bad weather or a whiteout. I don't know if you heard about the Everest disaster of 1996. The guys actually made it back to the South Col, but they were not able to find their tents, and they actually almost went all the way to the ledge on the other side of the South Col, and they were there. So yeah, of course you can do that. No one is dictating you what to do, and you can just go explore the mountain. Yeah, it's totally fine. There are not such rules that you are not allowed to go solo on Everest. No, you can go to Everest. You pay your permit, you pay your expedition organizer. It always has to be a Nepalese company, or at least yeah, some organizer, and then you can just go there and do whatever you want. Yeah. Tommy Brennan, thank you, Nordine, for answering all the questions. Have a good evening. Good evening, Brennan. We have enjoyed your live. Thank you. How do you get enough sleep up there when you wake up at midnight? Yeah, Robert, I talked about that in my last video, that it's hard uh, to get proper sleep. Usually, if you use oxygen, it is easier to sleep actually, because your body, your heart is not working as much. It's not so hard, and you will have an easier time to fall asleep, or just have a more regenerative sleep if you use oxygen. And yeah, you just need to have, in general, if you're a mountaineer, you wake up at night, you have to have, I don't know, enough of an understanding and strategy of how you can make yourself fall asleep. Actually, it's basically mainly just your mind racing or cold feet that keeps you away from sleeping at high altitude. All right, guys, I think that wraps today's live stream up. I guess from all your feedback and your participation and all your questions, I think I should do that more often. Like, for example, show you guys live how I research and analyze a mountain, how I find trips and routes, alternative routes, how I prepare, or for example, to analyze the Cho-Oyu side. Thank you guys so much for being here, if you for tuning in to be here. Thank you all so much again for 1,000 subscribers and even more. Thank you for all your comments, for all your nice words, for all your positive energy and feedback. Thank you so much. I will continue to climb 8,000ers. I will continue to climb 8,000ers in an alpine style. I'll go even harder than I have. I will train more. I will be physically and mentally stronger than ever. I will come back to Everest in 2026 at least. And I'll take you guys with me on the journey of my mountaineering journey and share it with you. And I think I'll do some more of these live streams, maybe one every week. Maybe I can do that, and then you have the chance and opportunity to ask live questions, and I have the opportunity to answer them on a regular basis. I think this is something I can do. So yeah, thank you guys so much for everything, for all your enthusiasm. It really means the world to me, and it really touches my heart. All right, guys. Until then, thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next live stream. Thank you so much. Bye bye.